Hi guys, if you're watching this on the day that I upload this video, it is the 1st of March, which means that another round of 31 minutes for 31 days has begun. I will leave all the links down below, but this is a concept by Kelly Winnell to spend 31 minutes for 31 days doing something, anything for yourself. So I, of course, am going to do a little project and document it in a 6x4 pocket page notebook. I'll talk a little bit more about what my project is in a minute, but the first thing I want to do is just decorate my notebook just a little bit. The craft covers are totally fine and I usually leave them plain, but when I'm doing an actual specific project like this, I do like to decorate them just a little bit. And I happen to have a bunch of gorgeous new Horizon goodies sitting on my desk from a project that I finished a couple of days ago. So I decided that I would use these to decorate this, and I will show you how I'm going to do that right now. So like I said, this stuff was out on my desk anyway, so this is not a whole sheet of paper, it's just a scrap and it's got this huge piece on the bottom, so I wanted to use that up, and so I can't give you any dimensions. I'm just trimming out the largest rectangle that I can from the scrap paper that I've got, so if you're starting with a whole sheet it won't be a problem. Now what I'm going to do is just measure the cover, making it as flat as I can so that I can get the width that I need for this replacement cover. But I'm not changing the height at all, because what I want to do is create a pocket, sort of a pocket flap on the inside cover. So you can see here I'm just measuring the height against my notebook, but I'm not going to cut anything. That's where I'm going to fold it. So first I'm going to fold it in half, which will create my spine, and then I'm going to find my little pencil mark and fold the bottom up. So that's why I can't give you a height, because you can make that as high as you want or not at all. So if you don't want a pocket, just cut it to the same size as the original cover. If you want a larger pocket, just measure how high you want that pocket. Now before I attach that, I just ran that through my sewing machine. That's how I've managed to adhere the pockets in. I've just I've stitched a rectangle on each side of the cover. Now I'm just removing the old cover really carefully, keeping the actual notebook piece intact. I'm not pulling those staples out, I just want that to stay as is. All I'm going to do here is attach a different cover to the front of it. So that way I'm not worried about misaligning any of the inside pages. Everything will stay intact while I do this replacement. So I'm just grabbed a bunch of padding there. I've got a spongy needle cover and my punching mat, and I did just grab a couple of clips to hold this cover onto the notebook while I do the next step, which is just to punch a couple of holes. So I've got a staple out of my stapler, just punched that out, and I'm just using that to measure where the holes are going to go on the spine. Now making sure when you're poking your holes there that you go straight down, not on any angle, and that way you will end up through the inside there, and don't do like I do, use a bone folder or something rather than your nails to fold over the edges of the staples. But so all we're doing really, we're not holding the notebook together, we're just trying to attach the cover to the actual notebook. So it doesn't worry me that there's two sets of staples on the inside there. If it does you, then maybe just glue some pattern paper onto the front craft cover without removing it. But I've never worried about having two staples on the inside before, and I'm not about to start now. I can easily cover it up with washi tape or something later on anyway. So you can see that was pretty easy to replace the cover, and now I have this really beautiful pattern paper cover. Like I said, this is paper, I think 15 from the Horizon collection, which is definitely one of my favorites. Rainbow, not hard to tell why, is it? And I'm just going to decorate the cover really simply. I don't want to put too much onto this, so I'm just going to use some of the washi tape. Again, all of this is from the Horizon collection. So pretty, that beautiful like painterly kind of pink washi tape. There's it looks gold on camera, but it's kind of copper in real life, and this little teal polka dot. If I had thought harder about it, I would have pulled a longer piece of washi tape and just folded it over so the washi was on the inside as well, but I didn't, so I just trimmed that off with my scissors. And the other thing I had out on my desk were these little charms, and I just love them. They're gorgeous. I always buy the little charms and I never use them because I never know how to use them in like paper craft. So I'm going to use one today because I had the paper clips out on my desk as well too, and I thought you must be able to attach this charm to the paper clip somehow. I thought I could just thread it on, but then I realized it would sort of be vertical, like upright, the wrong way around anyway. So I'm gonna have to attach it another way. I'm playing around with different color paper clips. I don't know why, because you know I'm going to choose pink. And I went through some of my old bits and pieces and found some kind of jewelry making stuff. So I had a little piece of wire that I've kind of shaped into a circle. Probably easier to use a jump ring or something. I just didn't have one the right size. But anyway, I'm just using my little pliers to attach the charm to the paper clip, and if you'll excuse the pun, it did work like a charm. It works perfectly. And it's exactly how I wanted it to be. I'm worried about it sort of flapping around. You can see when I open and shut the cover, it doesn't necessarily fall back in the right place, or at least even up the right way. So you'll see me here. I'm going to glue it down with a glue dot. I do end up removing that later, and I'll share why when I do that, but it still looks a little blank to me. There's a little blank space up there, so I'm going to add kind of a title, which will give you a little bit of a hint as to what this project is about. I'm going to choose these yellow letters. It's a very simple title. I'm just titling this book Me. And I'm not changing I'm just using both yellow alphas, and that's my title card, title page, title cover of my notebook finished. And I'm just going to work on the first page on the inside. This is going to be super simple because obviously my 31 minutes today has included redoing an album cover. So all I'm doing is sticking a page on. Now see, you can see the paper clip. That's why I unglued it, so that I can actually remove the paper clip and remove the charm if I need to keep my book flatter if I'm ever going to do stamping or anything in it. So I think that was a good move because I always end up stamping a lot in these books. Now, the reason I had a pocket on the inside is I wanted to include a tag that had some of my reasons why I decided to do this project. If I'm perfectly honest with you, I literally only decided this morning that I wanted to do this because, first I'll tell you. So my project is going to be 31 days of selfies, which can seem a little bit, I don't know, self-involved, I guess, but the reason why is I've been struggling with my self-worth lately. I think working from home, I don't tend to put a lot of effort into how I look on a daily basis, and that definitely affects how I feel about myself. So I realized the other day someone had tagged me in a post on Instagram, and I realized I hadn't taken a selfie in a very long time, and that was because I didn't really like how I looked. I didn't want to take a selfie. And I spent a great deal of my life not liking who I was and how I looked and how I appeared to the world, and it took me a long time to get to a better place with myself, and I can feel myself slipping backwards, and I don't want to let that happen. So this project is going to be about me relearning myself, re-accepting myself, and just having a bit of fun with who I am. So there you go, that's my album all done. A really simple intro page and a really pretty cover to keep me inspired through the month. If you have not thought about joining the 31 Minutes for 31 Days group, I will leave the link to the Facebook group down below. I'll also leave a link to Kelly's original blog that tells you some of her reasons for this project. If you haven't considered doing the project, give it a go. It's really fun. You can choose anything you want to. It doesn't have to be any sort of papercraft books. So just read the links, join the group, and join me and Kelly as we go through the month of March, taking 31 minutes each day for ourselves. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.